Oh, you people and your gun rights get so fucking...
I kind of want to see what's... I'm gonna unmute Jake, because I want to see what he's fucking trying to argue in this situation.
He said... So, he started with like, yeah, I don't think civilians should have fully automatic weapons, and it's just gone from there.
Oh, that was a good.
Oh, man. People like to ignore all the fucking basic facts behind it, too.
Basic. Well, why don't you enlighten me?
So should we, you know, it's like 37 people were killed by hammers last year alone. Should we outlaw hammers to civilians? Only professional contractors should have those? Because that seemed like that was a pretty efficient way to kill people.
Well,
I wouldn't expect 37.
Guess what? 500 people died in a mass shooting in Las Vegas. From one guy. That's one guy.
It went crazy. Shit happens.
Yeah? What are you just gonna ban people with mental illnesses? The problem isn't the mental illness, it's the fact that he had a gun with an illegal mod on it, or not even an illegal mod. It was a legal mod. He could purchase it legally, but the only thing illegal about it was the attachment of it on his gun.
So you've done your research about the weapon and its attachments, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how the news said it's a bump stock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so me being military have definitely done my research. A bump stock will not allow that weapon, that very particular weapon that he was using, to fire at that increased rate of fire. So he doesn't have a legal mod on it because a bump stock will up your fire rate to about 660 rounds per minute. That man was putting down way more than that. And the weird thing is, the really strange thing is, I use that weapon pretty much every month to requalify. And you know, after a while, you get used to the sound of that weapon, the sound of the reload, the sound of the gunshots, even at long range, watching firefights and stuff like this so we can do our training. And the really weird thing is, it doesn't sound the same. It sounds to me like he was using a 7.62 round, which, oddly enough, they found shells. Which, it's crazy, I know, the guy brought empty 7.62 shells, even though it sounded like they were saying he was firing a fully automatic 5.56 weapon with a NATO 5.56 round with a bump stock, which allows him to fire up 800 rounds per minute, which in all actuality maybe adds 60 rounds per minute. So whoever fucking dumbass decided they want to record the 8 seconds of the man firing and then put that into a full minute and be like, oh yeah, that equals about 798 rounds per minute. It's fucking retarded. And you know the best part about everything I just said? It was broadcast on CNN. You know, the best thing about Fox is they said there's no such fucking thing as a bump stock that's going to allow a weapon to fire 800 rounds per minute because there's no American-ized weapon that fires 800 rounds per minute. He's using a NATO 7.62 round, which isn't even legalized in the United States, unless an authorized permit has been allowed, and you are not allowed to have any mental illnesses or any previous criminal records. The man, oddly enough, had self-hospitalized himself into an institute for 72 hours, approximately a year and a half prior, which would automatically disqualify him from owning any 7.62 round or any attachment bought outside of the legal manner. So basically what you're saying is legal guns pretty much is what did it, right? I don't think so, buddy. That's not how it works. You've been fucking brainwashed that automatic guns fucking kill people. Yeah, they do. Because the person that pulled the trigger, I can set an automatic gun down on a weapon and it's not going to kill a bunch of little kids until somebody picks it up. But here's the problem though. Somebody did pick it up because I allowed that to happen. I personally allowed that crazy person, that old whatever, to grab the weapon. I'm not maintaining positive control of my equipment, which allows others to take charge of it. That's the issue here. That's where your little stupid ass CNN watching liberal ass is getting fucked up. This is where you're wrong. I'm not saying guns should be just allowed to everybody because they shouldn't. There should be a very strict gun registration process. You have to have the weapon registered. Honestly, I think you should have to check the thing in every so often and have somebody check on it. But that's a lot of manpower and a lot of time. That's probably a lot of government tax dollars that the fucking liberals don't want to spend because they're too busy opening up vegan coffee shops and fucking each other on acid.
Well, to be quite honest, I agree with the part.
Here's the thing too. So every bit of whatever you heard or watched about the guy killing people in Vegas, apparently he's wrong.
I mean, I didn't watch it off of CNN.
So here's the thing too, and really strange. So what happened apparently afterwards is the sworn statement off the officer that supposedly shot the man, even though he had already shot himself. Weird CNN how that works. You shot him after I shot himself? That means he should be relieved of duty, doesn't it, buddy? That's double tapping, which has been illegal since the Geneva Convention in 1975. Weird how that works. Also, The recoil of fucking, what was he using? He was using a Glock 18 to kill himself, supposedly. The recoil of the Glock 18 is not going to pull as much as it did if you put the weapon about 2.5 feet away from the man's body. If he put the trigger in his mouth and aimed upwards, where's the recoil going to go? What happens when you pull the trigger on a weapon? I'm sure you wouldn't know, because, you know, your parents, I'm sure, wouldn't allow you to be around that, because, you know, guns are bad. But a recoil on a weapon, whether it's upside down or not, is going to kick up towards the chamber, because the spring in the chamber allows the recoil to be shot up to the side port, to the ejection port for the magazine. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. Kind of did my research here. You hear? You see where it's all coming together now? So hear me out. Now, so the Glock 18 is going to recoil up, which means even if the weapon's upside down, it's going to kick up down. Tell me, why does the man not have any breaks, fractures, any stress, or anything on his teeth? Because, you know, in an autopsy they pull dental records. A Glock firing up into someone's teeth is 99% sure going to chip it. And by the way, the weapon falls off to the right about 2.5 feet. Weird how that works, unless he was shot or someone else shot him. I don't think they do their research. I think they are a little too afraid to actually fire a weapon just to see what the recoil would be like before they start throwing shit out there.
Can I say something?
That Vegas thing needs to fucking go away. I don't know why people think that's such a fucking crazy thing. Some dude went up in a fucking hotel with 2 bags of weapons, or he only used one of them, supposedly, because, you know, he used an M16A4, which has an automatic fire rate of 800 rounds per minute with a bump stock, which actually goes up to about 660 if I hadn't previously said that. Just giving you guys a little hint. Now, what needs to happen, like I said before, is people need to maintain more control. We don't need to make it such a crazy event of pissing off all the rednecks. I think the liberals have something right. Something needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be pissing off all the rednecks so they say, no, we need to keep our guns. Our guns is important to us. I think it needs to be a everyday thing. It's the same as racism, honestly, in America now. We keep put such a huge fucking spotlight on it that everybody like has to talk about it. If you would just keep such a fucking spotlight off of it where everybody doesn't have to talk about it, we'll be good. What we need to do is shine a light more on gun control and proper training of guns, and have each state, you know, make sure they go through like a class instead of just being able to get them. That way, if anybody's at fault, it's the person themselves, not weapons, because every precaution has been done. Because you're not taking away a right, buddy. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. That's not how America works. And if it is, you're going to have to fucking figure out how to put in instill communism to the states. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
A few things.
The only way you've been able to take away a right, I've had my rights taken away because I joined the military. I don't have the freedom of speech anymore because what I've interpreted to be said can be called as slander to anyone. I don't have the right to say whatever I want because I'm a trained professional. Because I can get... What the fuck is this? Anyway, I can get in trouble for Article 38 of the United States Military Code of... United States Code of Military Justice. So anything that I say can be taken and put to court against me. I've lost my right. If you think you're going to take my fucking right to hold my weapon, nah, fam, you're wrong. Liberals have an idea of what they want to do, but they're just too fucking retarded to figure out how to do it the right way. And the problem with fucking Republicans is they don't know what to do because they just want to because they just want to fucking prove the liberals wrong. So you guys need to get your heads out your fucking asses and come up with something that the Republicans can understand, because they're not going to listen to you. You're not taking away people's guns, buddy. It's not happening. It will never happen. You can restrict them, you can do whatever you want, and cool, you can take away banana clips, but you know the best part? That's what happened in California. An AK-47, you're allowed to have those in the United States, but here's the weird thing too. An AK-47's recoil chamber is a gas-powered fucking recoil with an extra spring in the back. Basically what happens is when that spring comes back, it relieves some of the recoil off the weapon into your shoulder. But the best part is that automatic firing pin that you have to turn into an automatic isn't really there because that recoil has enough force that it would do the same, put the same amount of much pressure as a firing pin on the recoiling chamber. So what's going to happen is another round's going to rechamber anyway. So all you got to do is hold that trigger down and you're going to fire down, maybe at a subsidized rate of about 120 rounds less per minute. But an AK-47 at a 7.762 NATO shot is still going to do quite a bit of damage. People have tried, buddy. It doesn't work. You have to come up with something else than going around saying guns should be banned, guns bad.
Well, it's not like educated. It's not the whole like